Hey, good evening. I'm Dan Fitzpatrick, stockmarketmentor.com, and I want to look at MongoDB here. Okay, software company. This is not a current chart. Last day of this is January 8th, but I want to show you a trade setup that ultimately has turned out pretty well, and it's still going. You see, if you look at the way this stock has been trading, nice uptrend here, and then it started to drift lower, below the 50-day moving average, ultimately undercutting the 200. Now the 50-day moving average, where it had been support, back here, all the way through here and even here, where it had been support, now it's resistance here. And so then finally, and the stocks, you could draw a trend line like this, and then the stock breaks out above it, fine, goes up through the 200-day moving average, fine, it's not my trade, not yet, and then it runs up back here to 150, which is kind of where it peaked there. And so you can kind of look and see how this stock has been trading, drifting lower like this, and then finally starts to work up here. Well, so what happened back here, again, below the 200-day moving average, the stock was essentially kind of in a volatility squeeze. So this is a stock that's been on my watch list, right? So when I see the stock starting to break out above 150, now I'm getting interested because the stock's, breaking this trend line here on volume, huge volume. So that's when you're going long. Okay, and then the stock runs up a bit more, and you can see though it's come in for what I would, this would be a really sloppy one, but what I call a touch and go, where you look at the 200-day moving average as the runway, the stock comes down here and then ultimately takes off again. I used to do those and scare the snot out of my flight instructor all the time, but we never died. And so anyway, so the stock's here. Now suddenly what's happening? The 50-day moving average no longer is resistance. Now it's support here. We've got a crossover, and you're long the stock, and you're saying, okay, I'm long the stock. I see this little move here, and I'm going to keep a stop. You can either keep like a super tight one, right underneath where this trend line is, or you're taking a smaller position and you give it even more room because you're not risking that much dollar-wise because you have a smaller position. But what you're waiting for is a second entry on a breakout above 160. And so you're sitting here, and now, maybe that was the day, or maybe this is the day. But so here's where we are right now. In order to be profitable, at least in my view, on this trade, you had to be watching it. The software index has been on fire, for a long time. So you should have a lot of these software stocks on your radar. But when this really starts to get interesting is right around here. Right around here. You're buying here, and it's early. It's very early because, and you look, hindsight's always 20/20. Trading is not. So you're looking here, and if you're buying here, you're saying, all right, software's good. This is a really low consolidation. Can't really say it's in an uptrend when it's below the 200-day moving average. 50-day is flat, 200-day is flat. It's the furthest thing from an uptrending stock. But I like the software. This is a growth company, so I'm buying the stock here and I'm keeping a tight stop there. And frankly, there's a pretty good chance that you get stopped out because it's a pretty tight stop. There's a good chance that you're going to get stopped out, and then lo and behold, you don't get stopped out. So this is one of those times when having an early entry has paid off. And so by the time the stock gets up to here, you've got a really, really nice trade going on. You're up 20%. So anyway, I think this goes higher. Just the way this stock is trading here, it's still really in the base building process. It's on forming the right side of the cup. I think if the stock were to pull back to the mid 150s, even all the way to 150, if it holds, I think that's a good buying opportunity. If it keeps going up, I think it's kind of too late to start a position, but I would be adding to mine. If the stock runs up, say above 170, I will. I'll add some, and then I'll be looking to sell right around $200. So anyway, that's it for this video. Members, we've got a lot of stuff going on, and I also want to talk to you about trading gaps, intraday stuff. So check out the strategy session tonight. And I'll also tell you about this really, really massive trade I have on Amazon.